Here we go then. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of the MSU live stream podcast. Me and Dale are really chuffed that the owner of Cab Screens Crescent Yamaha, Lee Webber, is going to join us and have a bit of a chat about what goes in to being a team manager, an owner, and the different manufacturers about bikes and stuff. So we're really excited to have our first live chat, and it's Lee's first of the season already. Welcome, Lee.
Hello. Good evening, all right?
Yeah, thank you very much for taking the time out to come and chat to me and Dale today. Obviously, you're
right.
our first ever guest on the live stream.
Working your way up, to see it.
We started at the top, so it's going to be tough now.
Yeah, right. You have it.
Yeah. So, obviously, I did send you a little thing about a few questions before we got started, and you said you got started at motocross at the age of 12. What got you into motocross?
Moving to the Peterswood area was the biggest thing. I lived in a village called Strood, which is right next door to the Ken Hall track.
Yeah.
And well, I think you guys would have rode in it, I think.
Yeah,
and I rode in it 5 times in the end. It's walked right with the friends, and yeah, sorry guys.
Did you ever win
later on? But yeah, in the early years, couldn't afford it. Yeah, I had to go the other way. But yeah, that's what got me hooked. The first one I ever watched, I think, was the infamous Noyce Thorpe race.
Yeah.
Early 80s, something like that.
Nice.
Just went from there.
You don't look old enough, mate.
I am 51 now. Yeah.
No, so that's what we got. What was your first bike after you decided that you wanted to?
I bought the first bike was a Suzuki RM100, which at the time I paid £200 for, from a fella called Donny. No, not Donny. I can't remember his name now. From Eastergate, his son still rides a little bit, Paul Smith, and his dad used to ride. So I remember buying it. I remember going down there, buying it. My first bike. Didn't have a clue about doing fields. My dad wasn't around, so I had to kind of do it all on our own. Yeah, me, myself, and my brother, and
jumping straight on a geared bike.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine was the owner of the Kennel track. So we used to ride a little 80 Honda around there, so I kind of got used to it. And then we had a field bike. We used to go and ride and Strood, and you could do those kind of things and not get asked by the police. And yeah, so that was kind of how we got used to it. And then I remember my first race and couldn't get up any of the hills, kind of embarrassing. And yeah, just went from there really.
Yeah. Did you ever win the kennel?
Yeah, right. I did the main race twice.
Oh, did you?
I remember. Yeah, I did only because I don't know why, they just probably didn't have enough entries.
Short numbers.
A few local guys.
Fill-ins.
The first one I did, I remember it now, was I had Mervyn Anstey one side and Rob Hare on the other side on the start line.
Oh, what an
experience. I saw them twice after that.
I think my old man rode up there that year. Well, Heron and that used to always kind of be there, didn't he?
Yeah, that's some good lineups those days. Yeah. Yeah,
when we really say Lee's the boss of Cab Screens, the real boss has just popped up.
Who's that then?
It's your wife, I'm guessing.
Yeah. She is the real boss. Yeah, you're right there.
She just popped up and said you moved to Petersfield in 1981.
Oh, that'd be my mum, I expect.
That's is it your mum?
Yeah. She's a proper motocross mum.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. When did we move to Petersfield? 1981.
Yeah, that was it.
I would have been 12 years old, so I was right. Yeah. There you go. So good memory. I can't remember what I did yesterday.
Yeah, same.
1981.
It's mad how long the kennel's been going, really, isn't it?
Sad that it's gone, really, because it's such a great track and such a great event once a year.
It's an iconic event, actually, in the UK, really.
Yeah, I hope it gets resurrected one day because it's such a great track and it's tracks are vanishing here, left, right, and centre. So
did it ever get sold in the end?
I don't know what happened to it. I think the Lamberts are still there. It's just a real shame that they don't use it. I mean, once a year doesn't seem, it's not a lot to do. It's a great round. Great
they used to earn some serious money on that one weekend as well, didn't they?
Wow, yeah, I
Used
don't
to
know.
charge a
Yeah,
few quid for that.
yeah, yeah. You'd like to think they could. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, one day maybe, maybe the language. I know the language club. I think Paul Kirk and people like that are still involved in motocross. So maybe they'll get it back one day. Those guys will have a go at it.
Be
yeah,
good
so
to all
we
the
used
British
to,
there, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we used to have to go and put the track up there, didn't we, to get a ride on
Oh, we've done all that. Yeah.
the donut class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done. Oh, yeah, each year I did that. Yeah, yeah, I've done all the support. Yeah, putting the track up there. Yeah, it's quite enjoyable actually getting a group of lads together and have a pub
We used to
after
go
that.
and
It's all
hide
right.
up the top of the hill with Steve.
Yeah. My man, that was my man's trick, wasn't it? He used to go, right, we'd do the chestnut fencing at the top. We used to take 20 minutes to get up there. We used to just sit up there for a couple of hours, didn't we? Coming down. Yeah, all done up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's why it's not running anymore.
yeah, that's it. We've killed it. We've killed the kennel. So yeah, so obviously you raced from the age of 12, and when did you give up racing? Or
I think I was 30, 36, 37 to start my business that I have
Yeah.
now. It's just impossible to race and run your own business. It's too dangerous. Started out my own, so yeah, I give it up. I did, obviously I never really got anywhere. I was all right locally, but I was never ever going to be anywhere near British. I just enjoyed it. I just
hurts a lot more after 30, doesn't it?
I feel it now. I really feel it now. That's for sure. I did.
Yeah.
I managed to ride a few years. I did. It was a good few years, and I loved it. I actually loved it. My brother and myself. My brother could have been, had it not been for quite a serious knee injury, I think he'd have been a really good rider. But that set him back quite a bit. Knee injuries are the ones that sort of end up costing motocross riders. So yeah, no, it's 36, 37 when I gave it up, and then this happened.
Do you ever have a little ride? Do you have a little ride now and then, Lee, or not?
No, I do think about it once in a while, and then I think you could hurt yourself in a lap.
Yeah, it's so hard, isn't it? When you go and watch, we find it when we're injured and that, we go and watch, and you're like, I ain't riding no more. And you first meeting you go back to, you start itching and thinking, oh, I want to get back out there.
Yeah. It is. I've got two boys, one's 12, one's 8, and they both play football, and I love having a kick about them. And if I got hurt again, I know that I couldn't do that. So
yeah,
I get my enjoyment from watching the boys ride, from the team ride, not my two boys.
Into that now. So
yeah,
obviously starting your own business, Cab Screens. Was it Cab Screens originally?
Yeah,
that you started.
Yeah. Originally, yes, yeah.
And obviously you've built that up over the years to quite a successful business, and then allowing you to obviously start your first team, which was how many years ago?
That was 2016.
9 years. This is our 9th year this year.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll tell you how we started it. It was myself and my brother started it, and 9 years ago, probably like almost to the day, we put an advert in Trials Motocross to in the youth section that they used to have then, and said we wanted to help support a rider, because we didn't really have any support when we were younger. So we just wanted to support a rider, and we thought, right, here we are, we're going to get inundated now with riders left, right, and centre. We had 3 people write to us.
That's mad.
Yeah, so one of those was George Clark, really nice lad, nice family, and we started with George that year. And funny enough, the first time we went to watch him,
he crashed.
He crashed, broke and dislocated his wrist in one hit.
I do George.
Yeah, he likes to crash as well, doesn't he? But such a nice lad. But we said to him whilst he was lying on the stretcher, said, "We'll give you a hand this year," and it went from there. Yeah, whilst he was on a stretcher on the gas and there. So
yeah, Jeff Perrott said, "If I'm getting back on a bike, Lee, you bloody well can."
But he was good. I was crap.
He was very good.
Yeah.
So starting with George, going from there. Obviously, you've been through a lot of manufacturers. What makes you change manufacturer year to year? Is it deals, or is it bike setups, or?
Well, we originally started with Yamaha, and then Husqvarna, Honda, and then back to Yamaha. I mean, the reason we went to Husqvarna, they just started to get big. Obviously, from 2015 to 2016, they started with their own bike with the KTM, the copy thing. So we got on that early, but then at the end of 2017, they kind of dumped everyone.
Oh, right.
and just kept one team on in MX1, one team in MX2. Those teams are no longer going now, or one's just resurrected itself. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit anyway. But so then I picked up with Honda.
Yeah, that looked like an awesome bike.
We done a really good job there. Really good job. Well, in my eyes, a really good job. Not in Honda's eyes, but in my eyes, we done a really good job. We never got anything for free. Not in 3 years, not one item for free.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Is you know, the way I see it from the outside in is it just must cost a fortune to keep these bikes up, and you know, and how much help do you get from these large manufacturers?
Up until now, Husqvarna was quite a good deal. Honda was just some discount bikes, and then nothing on parts. They're discount parts, no parts for nothing. I know. We had to go and find our own discount, which we did from Winchester Off Road. But you know, we did a really good job for Honda, a really good job. So I was disappointed that every year we get, oh, hold on, Lee, we'll do something for years. Never really got anything. And then this, to be honest with you, I was probably ready to throw the towel at the end of last year. But this Yamaha thing, and this Yamaha deal turned up, and it's been a breath of fresh air, I have to say.
Awesome.
It's so good.
Did they approach you then, Lee, did they?
Sorry, there.
Did they approach you then? Yamaha come to you, did they?
It was a mutual friend put us together, and gave me a number and said, phone these guys up. And I didn't do it first week. I didn't do it for the first week. I was there's nothing to come of it. I'm kind of done with it.
Yeah, your head was already gone, sort of like, I'm
done. And then they said to me a week later, make the call. And I said, okay, I'll make the call. Made the call, and they were like really positive. Had a meeting. Paul Danyon at Crescent has been absolutely brilliant. He's been the kind of main man to instigate, because it's obviously the deal is between Yamaha and Crescent. And I'm glad I made that call, because it's honestly, it's got everything we should have had the last few years, really, the help we should have had. I mean, it's not just financial help, it's been like you feel you're part of something.
Like the whole package, isn't it?
It's Yamaha really made us feel and make me feel like I'm part of something, like I'm part of Yamaha. It's been a really, really the whole. I mean, it's been 2-3 months now, and just can't wait to get riding, really. But and then of course the bike. I mean, the Yamaha bike. I'm not saying it because we're on Yamaha.
Now I agree with you as well. I would say the Yam's probably the best. But I'm trying to convert everyone over to Yam now. Dad, I reckon one more year, my dad would be on a Yamaha. He's been on Honda for years and years.
I'll work on him as well.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know, when you say you've got a fleet of bikes, it just must. You know, to me, to run one bike costs me enough. To, you know, you fucking 1 week. You know, clutch goes, or if you're not getting that help from the manufacturer, it just must be, like you say, drain you down to think, there's no point for doing this. I might as well keep the money in my pocket.
Well, 2019. I won't go into too many figures because it's probably not right there. But 2019, my clutch bill, just clutches, £15,000. So that gives you an idea of what it costs, and what kind of, when you go up a rider, you know, as probably you know, you probably have a clutch all year. Yeah. When you go to a GP rider, clutches, it's the biggest. It's things like that you wouldn't believe what they wear out.
I'd take the clutch off, Lee. I would.
Yeah. You put it back on.
Yeah.
No, because some is Harrier quite a clutchy rider, and Dan, I don't, because some riders are more clutchy than others, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, but I think they're not any different to any other rider in those classes. They're all pretty much the same. They're all pretty much the same.
It's kind of the riding style now, isn't it? It's kind of, and you see everyone doing clutches, don't you? At that level.
You can also on the flip side of that, you've got to change the clutch because you can't chance it.
Yeah, you don't want it slipping, or
you don't want to DNF because of a clutch, so they'll get used in. But it's not just that item. There's quite a few that they'll smash up. They'll smash up a lot of stuff.
Does one clutch last one meeting, Lee, or not?
Depending on the ground. If we had say like Hawkston this time last year was an absolute bog. I don't think we did a clutch. We did 2 clutches. We do 2 clutches a day, I expect. So one clutch each race.
Yeah.
You have to do it. You have to do it. All the team will do it. They probably say they won't,
Yeah.
but you'll see the bikes led on this side in the morning.
Yeah.
Having a clutch thing.
Got to keep Simon busy as well.
Yeah. He gets away with that bit.
Yeah.
They've got a new mechanic this year, actually. Who's we had a really good guy the last 2 years called John Dennis, who's gone away to do family stuff now. So a new guy called Steve Henderson. So
is that a full-time job for him, Lee? Is it, or is it?
Yeah,
it is a full-time job.
Yeah.
So that's a salary now you guys have got to find as well as a bikes and.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the whole package. We have got some good sponsors. Obviously, we always need more. There's no doubt about it. It's always cutting it fine. I'd love to do the EMX stuff this year, so if we can add a bit to that, so there is quite an outlay during the year.
Our sport just doesn't get the publicity it deserves, does it? For sponsors and stuff. If look at the NASCAR and the NFL in America. We just don't get the coverage in the UK that we deserve, for our sport. And it is an exciting sport. But then we're probably biased because we are biased,
through and through. But I still think it's one of the sports where it's quite a level playing field. There's nothing on our bike that you can't buy from a shop.
Yeah,
might be some things that we fabricated, but it is still quite a level playing field. You could. I know that the guys will say, "Oh, you can't tip up in a transit now." No, you can put your money up and go to a Grand Prix if you're good enough.
Yeah,
do a one-off ride and try and get noticed. We've done it in the past.
Yeah,
so it's still quite a level playing field, I think.
Yeah, like compared to F1 and stuff.
Yeah, a good part is obviously we went to the Nations in 2019 with Harry.
Yeah.
You had something on the race there.
I couldn't wait to ask you that question.
I know. Sorry, I've got
that was like how that made you feel as a person. That's what the feeling after all the effort you've put in to see him come around. That I just
I didn't see
one
it.
Of them feelings I didn't see it.
I was pulling the wheel trolley to the pit box.
No,
I heard Roger Warren mention it on the microphone, and myself and Simon walked into the pit box and said, "Is that Harry?" Sure enough, as we went to the pit box, they came round and he was still leading. Yeah, so,
you have to sign Jet Lawrence. He pushes his own wheels. Did you see that the other day?
Yeah, that was one. I wonder if he actually pushed it. It just showed him at the trolley, didn't it?
Yeah, just quick photo, and then he went again.
Yeah, let's see if he pushed it along.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably one of your highlights as a team manager. I'm guessing, on that massive stage with everyone there.
Yeah, it's probably one of my biggest because I've been to the Nations. I've not missed many in the last probably 20 years. We've been to America and Italy and France. We've done all those ones, and we've been there and watched the Nations, and it is the biggest one of the year without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
But to have that picture of Harry, obviously. You've got to have the rider as well. Harry Kulas is a big rider, and
we'll go through him in a bit.
Yeah. So to have that picture, that can money buy that? I don't know.
I don't think it's that feeling you get inside. Like I've always wanted my own team, but a bit like I've read about your ethos about the youth, and that's something I'm really passionate about. And if I could ever do something, that's the route I'd like to go down. But you to say that picture of whole shot on that Nations just must. Money can't buy that for you.
No, it can't. No, it's an unbelievable feeling that day. I mean, a lot of factory bikes stopped that day. Our bike just kept going and going, and a lot of that was down to we got a little bit of help. John Dennis built the bike that day, and he done a fantastic job. Obviously, Harry had to ride it and make sure that he's a very clever rider, so he made sure he
got it home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good.
We were there watching it, and it's just to see a local team especially where it was, and I think that must be such a great feeling.
Oh, it doesn't happen in many sports. I don't think that kind of, we're just a little team from Hampshire, and to have that again, I know we've got the riders to do it, but we still had to put a bike underneath him to make it do that, and
a lot of work involved.
Sorry,
there's a lot of work involved.
And we do work on starts a lot as well. It's more important now than any other part, which is sad, really. That's the most important part of a race, but it is. We have to work on starts.
Yeah,
A
before
heck
we
of
go
lot.
on to
It was
your
a
ride.
massive hole
Go on,
shot as
sorry,
well,
go.
wasn't it? It weren't even like a little. It was
Yeah.
a clear hole shot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Against
yeah.
Geyser and all the others and that.
Yeah.
Because I
Factory
remember
ATM.
when we
Go
was
on.
watching it, like we're cheering for like Britain, but then when we noticed it was Koulas, well, obviously we know the team. We was like, shit, that's Koulas's whole shot there. And then
And
we
he is.
but yeah,
He's like an adopted Brit now. He should be like an adopted Brit because he's given a lot to the British fans, and he's been here for like 6, 7, 8 seasons now, and he should be like an honorary Brit, really. So yeah, it was good to see it. I know he's riding for Estonia.
yeah.
Yeah.
What goes into a typical week as like a team manager and owner? Do you know? Obviously, you've got your business that still needs your main focus, but you know what do you have to put in on a weekly basis to make this team run?
I generally take a Wednesday off. I still have to do the day-to-day business stuff. So the mechanic will look after the bikes. And that. On a Wednesday, I clear the lorry, and if it's been a matter of a week, and then I have to wash the lorry out. I wash the toilet out, which is not pleasant. I have to get everything ready for the following weekend, especially if we've got a quick turnaround. So I take a Wednesday off and then fill the water tanks up, wash the lorry out, wash the awning, wash the tablecloths, and just make sure that the truck is ready to go again next weekend. So I don't have anyone to do it for me.
No,
Can't afford that. So I do it all myself generally, and then the mechanic can focus on the bikes. And so that's on a Monday. We do on a Monday. We'll see if we need any parts. Generally, unless we've had a disaster, it'll be quite a quick turnaround because the hard work is generally done in the winter.
yeah.
So it's just really getting everything cleaned and ready and looking the part for next weekend.
Yeah, because like logistics and stuff's now going to be a lot harder as you go out into Europe, I'm guessing, with all the new rules and stuff for the EU. So that's going to again another burden on you, I guess.
Yeah, and lucky enough, we won't do a great deal abroad. And if we can do the EMX rounds, we will with Dan Thornhill, and obviously the EMX 125 with Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Whether we do a full season or not with Joe in the EMX 125s, we'll just wait and see. But it's going to be hard to take stuff abroad. I mean, the ACU put something out today, I think, about the bikes having to have a certificate. And
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'll see that today.
Yeah. So it's going to be real hard work. I mean,
too much.
No, our focus will be here anyway with the MX Nationals and the ACU Championship. That'll be our two main focuses anyway. And Steelhawk, of course, Jeff. Steelhawk.
I'm gonna go
rocket till sundown.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the day off and go up.
Good event, that great event.
I've rode it. I have. It's good. It's nice.
Getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, where it's a weekday, it's because obviously we normally just ride weekends, so we have a day off work and it's all day as well. So obviously you can watch the pros in the evening, and you can even make the if you qualify during the day, you can make the pro as well.
Yeah. No, it's a great relaxed event, and Jeff does a great, and that kind of thing, like those one-off events are quite nice, and they're quite a bit less pressure. Checking the post from Jeff Perrett there. So,
checking the post there.
I'll bounce it back to you, Jeff. Don't worry about that.
No, Jeff, you're more than welcome to advertise on here. Like anything like that, we want to talk. So Harry, how did you get involved with Harry in the first place?
At the end of the year that I think it was 2018, 19 was his first year. So 18. James Harrison was with the team, and he quit halfway through to focus on business. Nice lad, but I don't actually James Harrison, but he quit halfway. So we kind of wanted to ramp it up a little bit next year. In 2019, obviously we retained Dan, and Dan still got. I mean, people don't realise he's only 24 years old, Dan. So he's still got a bit of he's still got a way to go, Dan. But we wanted a kind of someone who was a podium challenger. So that year, the end of that year, I started looking around. The first guy I contacted was Damon Growlers. A bit arrogant, if I'm honest with you.
Right.
And then I spoke to a couple of other riders, and they're all about the money. They didn't want to know anything about anything else apart from money. So then I was driving along, and I thought to myself, just Harry's name popped into my head, and I found Mark Chamberlain. And obviously he was with Mark Chamberlain with Husqvarna.
Yeah.
And Mark gave him a glowing reference. So I went out to the Assen GP that year and met up with Harry, just hit it off straight away. Myself and Ryan and Simon went out there, and and we knew he come and tested a bike. I don't think we even talked about money for the first few months. He wanted to test a bike, know the bike was right, and then we done a deal quite quick. And
Yeah, awesome.
he's been a great lad. I think it took a while for him to trust us. He'd had a few issues before with trust with other teams where he'd been let down a little bit.
Yeah.
So it took a little while for him to trust us, but from day one, he's been a really good guy.
Yeah, and giving you some good results as well.
Yeah, well, that first year, that was 2019, was the first year. And then he obviously won the MX Nationals that year. We should have done a lot more in the British that year, but he had a couple of injuries. And then, we competed in 7 rounds, the British. There was 8 rounds. We missed 1 round. We did 7 rounds. We finished on the podium 5 times.
Yeah.
The other 2 we didn't. We had 2 second places and a DNF for breaking a chain of both of those. So he's got some talent. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's definitely a good rider. Is there money in getting in the podiums on the British Championship level for
nothing?
There's nothing,
isn't there?
Nothing for us. No. For him, there is. He'll get some prize money, but there's nothing for a team.
The team doesn't take anything on that, then.
No.
Oh, wow.
No. There's no. I don't know if there's ever been any prize money for a team getting on the podium. There's no money for us.
I thought the team took it and he got a bonus sort of thing on his rider.
No. Yeah, he's earned that. That's his money and his right. Rightly so. He's the one doing it. Yeah.
But you're helping him do it as well. It's a team.
Yeah. But the money that these guys earn it's not a lot.
Yeah,
what they do. Yeah, what they put out there, it's not a lot at all, and they earn every penny. These guys.
Yeah, I think that as well. I just think that our sport could do with a little kick up the bum, couldn't it, with a bit of money funding and.
It's just it's. I don't know if it will ever get to that stage where teams will get. I don't think it will.
I can't see it either, but just enough to make the best people want to do it. For the teams. Yeah, make them want to turn up and ride. Really.
Yeah. I think the team thing. I think the teams will start. I don't know how many teams have vanished from last year, but obviously it's tricky condition, times at the moment. So we'll see how many teams stick around for the next couple of years.
Do you think he's got a shot at the championship this year?
Put him on the spot.
I want to put any pressure on him.
He's got the talent.
Yeah. Honestly, he has to. You have to say he has a shot at it. I mean, look at what he did at the first 2 rounds last year at Hawkeston and Landrake. Obviously, 1 race at Landrake. He's definitely got a shot at it. There's no 2 ways about it. But we've got to be consistent. You look at the last few years, it's not always been the best rider that's won the British. It's been the most consistent. And you look back at that last 3 or 4 years, well, that's not taken away. I know probably some people won't agree with me, but it's always been a consistent where you've got to be. Tommy Self, for instance, is always consistent, always. So if on his bad day, he'll finish 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot in our other, like with the AMA. People say, "Oh, yeah, he only won because of this," but you've got to be in that to win, that, haven't you? That's what we do talk a lot about that.
In 10 years' time, on the trophy, it'll say someone's like, it won't tell them a story.
Yeah,
it'll just say who won it.
Yeah,
and that's all you want. You just want your name on there. So you don't need to have a story on the trophy. You just need the name on there. It doesn't matter how you won it. It's as long as you've won it. He has got a shot. We just need to find it. Make sure we're consistent. Make sure we don't have any DNFs, and then your bad days, you have a 4th or 5th, or even
if you can stay in the top 6 on your bad days, you've got the chance, haven't you?
Yeah, that's the main thing in the British, to be consistent. It's 8 rounds, 16 races. Really, you can't afford. You can have 1 DNF, but then you've got to be outstanding. You've got to win 5 or 6 in a row to get that back. So, consistency is yes, definitely.
So, unless you got anything else, Dal and Harry.
No, not really. No, pretty much summed most of it up.
So I wanted to move on to Dan. Obviously, Dan's been with you for a fair time now. He's probably like a adopted son.
Yeah. Or if he wasn't ginger. Yeah.
So obviously, Dan's been with you a while, and obviously likes your team, likes the way you work. What's your plans with Dan this year?
Well, that's the thing with Dan. It's mutual as well, because we love his family. You know, his family, him, and that's not why we've got him on the team, just because they're a nice family.
Yeah.
I still think he's been a bit unlucky with injuries these last few years. He's still got something to offer, and we saw that at the EMX last year actually, because he progressively got better. So we just need an injury-free season, which we got last year. I know it was a short season, but we got an injury-free season from him, and then we started to see what he can do. People think he has been around. It does feel like he's been around a long time.
Yeah,
But he's 24 years old.
Yeah, I didn't realise he was that young.
Yeah, I mean that's what everyone thinks. That he's older. He's still got like 6, 7, 8 years. You know, those guys at 30, 31, 32, they're going to be moving on.
They're just peaking, aren't they, at that age?
Yeah, 30 is the peak. 30 is the peak now.
Yeah, 30 is the new 20, I've heard.
Yeah, it's the new peak. Yeah, so Dan's definitely got time to improve. He will improve. We just need to make it steady. It'll be a steady. Some guys out of the youth ranks. Dan was a youth champion. He's MXY2 champion. He's Red Bull rookie champion. And then he's just had each year from there. He's had a few injuries. So some guys come out of those ranks and really hit the ground running, and are top 5 riders instantly. Some guys take a few years and persevere. Some guys obviously just drop completely by the wayside. Dan
He's
won't
definitely
give it
a top 10 rider.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we need to make him a top 5 rider at the moment, but
yeah,
he's a top 10 rider. But we just need to make him a top 5 rider, and we just need to get a season out of him injury free. I think he's one of those guys that will, because he a lot of riders might have given up already with what he's had to put up with injuries, but he's such a determined lad that he won't give it up. He'll keep going.
Has he had a good winter obviously since?
He hasn't been riding.
No, but just trying to stay fit, and cycling, and what they do. Just trying to.
That's the one thing about all the lads. You don't have to motivate them. They train their asses off, and Dan's doing that right now. You know, he's training so hard. You don't need to motivate Dan, Tom.
Do you think that's going to be a bit of disadvantage not being able to ride? Like I see some people like Nichols and that have got their own tracks and stuff like that. They are getting out a little bit on the bike. Do you reckon that'd be a disadvantage to him?
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you were Jake Nichols, you got your private track, you absolutely use it to your advantage, and I don't blame him at all.
No.
I wish he stopped putting it on social media so I don't have to see it.
Yeah.
But fair play to him. He's got a track, and I see that Tommy's been out a few times, and they're all doing a little bit here and there, and they're obviously using it to their advantage, and who wouldn't? I don't think it's going to be a massive disadvantage. I don't think it'll be a disadvantage at all, actually, because I think my own feelings are that the season will be delayed to start.
Yeah.
I don't know that. That's just me.
No, it's just
my own back. And so we're not in any hurry to get riding. If we were going to do the La Capelle International, that's been postponed to April, May. So the guys can get up to speed within 6 weeks anyway. So there's no. If we had a lovely. And you mentioned Jake Nichols' track. That looks awesome. It looks like you have a British Championship. It looks an unbelievable track.
Yeah.
So if we had our own track like that, they'd 100% they'd be out riding right now. But we haven't, so we haven't got that luxury.
Do you think there will be any riding this year?
Yeah, no two ways about it. The MX Nationals did it last year in COVID times, and they did a very good championship. I know it was only 4 rounds, but for them to get 4 rounds on was unbelievable. So obviously streaming will be the future. I think maybe that the first few rounds are streamed and they can't have crowds, but you have to think that maybe, being positive, but by June, July, that there will be crowds that will be allowed. Obviously, most clubs, championships need crowds. They can't
definitely, and it's in an open space. If everyone's sensible, and even if they make you wear masks or something, I don't know, just to get crowds.
Yeah, you do all that. Yeah, we'd happily do anything like that just to go racing. We'll do all that.
I think everyone's in the same boat. Anyone would do anything to go racing at the moment.
Yeah, but I 100% think there'll be a championship. There's British and MX Nationals. MX Nationals already done it in COVID times.
Yeah.
Obviously, whether the ACU will learn from them a little bit, or whether they'll just do it off their own way. But as long as they work together and get some, I'm sure there will be. I don't doubt there won't be any chance there. That should be all right.
Yeah. And last but not least, Joe. I don't really know too much about Joe Brooks. So
so last not last year, the year before, he finished third in the 80s. He's a good 85 rider. And then last year, we are in the new year. Last year, that was his first year on a 125. He started the year as a 14-year-old. So to step on a 125, I think he could have had another year at 85 if he wanted it, but he's quite a tall lad. Very quiet lad. His dad is part of the team as well. So, but he is a very quiet lad and a very smooth rider. I honestly think he could go places in motocross. He had a really good year last year. To finish second in the only 125 championship and second to Bobby Bruce, who was on another level anyway.
Yeah.
And Bobby's obviously been at that class for a few years. I'm not sure if he's doing it again this year. Hope not. Give us all a chance. Joe's got a real stab at. There's some good lads in that class now. People like Ollie Colmer, a lad called coming up, Charlie Heyman. That's wonder what.
Yeah, I see they're all out in Spain at the moment, aren't they? Practicing
out
on red sands. I've been.
Yeah. Sods, they all. I think a lot of them got out there in late December, so they got out there before the real. We can't get out there at the moment. As much as we'd love to get out there, we can't get out there. So so Joe, I think he's got 2 or 3 years in the 125 yet. So Yamaha was obviously a good move for us. He loves the Yam. He's really enjoying that because obviously Yamaha do a 2-stroke. Because last year we had under the awning we had obviously Hondas, and then we had Honda don't do a 2-stroke, so we had a Husqvarna one. It was a bit disjointed.
Yeah.
So this year we've got the Yamaha under there, and he'll also do the Blue Crew events as well. So he's a really nice lad to work with.
I know that's your passion as well, the youth. You know, so you obviously got a lot of time for him and want to work hard.
Yeah. Actually, Dan trains him. Dan Thornhill trains him. Dan spends a lot of time with him. And he's got a really good style. He doesn't really, it's probably Dad might argue about this, but he doesn't really get off it much, actually, because he's got quite a nice laid-back style on a bike. And I haven't seen him ride, I've only seen him ride the Yamaha once. Obviously, then we've gone into lockdown. Really good on that. I was really impressed with him, actually. Impressed with him. So he'll have a GYTR kitted out bike, and he looks good on it. I'm really looking forward to seeing him racing.
Yeah, lucky lad at the age of 14 to have all that, I suppose. You know, he's been given the opportunity, so hopefully he can, grab it with both hands.
Yeah. No, he's a really nice. Some kids, obviously, some schoolboy kids are a little bit hard to work with, I'd imagine. Where they're a little bit prima donna-ish, but with Joe, you don't get that. You get a nice kid who wants to do well for the team. He's a quiet lad and just goes about it in the right way. So he's a pleasure to work with.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him this season. Follow him along.
Yeah. No, he should be good. I mean, if we can get to a couple of BMX races this year, that would be really cool. If we can find something local. I mean, there's some EMX 125 races that are. I think there might be one in Russia. There's an EMX Open in Russia, so those kind of places are going to be tricky to get to. But certainly, we will get him to do 2 or 3 EMX rounds. That's for sure.
That'd be awesome for him.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, Shane's just wrote, when you get riding again, will you be practicing every day to get the bike speed back up?
No, they wouldn't ride every day because they'd just be on a course of burnout. It could be a long season. I think you just progress into that. You certainly don't need to be riding every day, that's for sure.
No.
Harry generally rides maximum 3 days in a row, and then he'll have a couple of days off.
Yeah.
But certainly every day you've got to be on course of burnout, and I think you find it a little bit boring, maybe, I don't know. But you wouldn't certainly need to do that.
No, I think like you say, the amount of calories you burn and the heart rates and stuff, it just wouldn't be good for your physical state, would it?
Yeah, and you don't need to. You want to be peaking. For me, you want to be peaking about June, July anyway. For the rest of the season, I don't think you should be looking at peaking on the first round because you see some riders come in hot the first round, but then they drift away as the season goes on. So,
they know how to ride a bike, don't they? They don't need. They don't need to know how that. It's just like you say, it's the race pace.
Yeah. There's some guys obviously those guys that are probably out in Spain and people that have got private tracks, they might hit the ground running quite quickly. We just need to make sure that we're there or thereabouts. That's why it's quite nice to do a couple of internationals early in the season to see where you are.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so I don't think there's going to be anything now racing before. If the MX Nationals goes to Canada, which is the first round, then I don't think we'll get anything in before then.
Before that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's most of my questions. Dale, you got anything else you want to ask Lee?
I had a couple.
Drinking his manly gin and tonic there.
I wanted.
Get older now. Get sophisticated.
What's the art? What would you say is the hardest track you've been to, Lee?
I think it's probably Assen.
Yeah.
What for the bike? For the bike, you mean?
Yeah, generally the bike and you watching kind of thing. What would you say was the hardest track?
I think Assen. I think any track like Assen or Hawkston, when you know it's really wet and you're watching the race through your fingers, because you just know that you could have a DNF in those conditions.
You're watching your clutch steaming through your fingers.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, it's not enjoyable. It's not
pound
enjoyable
notes
at all.
flying out.
Yeah. clutches flying up in the air. I think those kind of races when you have a really deep mudder like that, and you're just praying that the bike. They're the hardest ones to watch. Yeah, but they're not. I don't watch that many starts actually. That's one thing I don't watch. I don't know why. Because you generally have got two riders on the start. I do watch Joe start, and he's pretty good at the gate. But I don't watch. And I probably, as a team manager, I probably should be watching the starts and videoing it. But yeah, I don't watch many starts. Funny, that's one of the hardest things to watch. Yeah, deep sand, they're the worst ones. You know they're going to kill them.
And I think you have touched on it, but my last question was: does being a team manager give you everything that you dreamed of when you started the team then years ago? Did you see yourself where you are now, and do you feel like you've accomplished that, or do you feel you still got more to go? Is that like you feel? I know you had that lull where you think, "Oh, I could have give up now," but this gives you a new lease of life. Have you thought? No, because someone like me really wants to start a youth team, and I just think, I think you could get to them points, and you just think, "Oh, I just want to give it up now."
It will run away with you. It's definitely run away with me. There's no two ways about it. It was never meant to be this big. But you kind of get a little success, and then you crave a bit more, and then it was never meant to be this big. But it has got to that stage. And I think once you've had like a podium or something like that, then it's hard to go back.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing.
You want that feeling every time.
Yeah. So now we've had some success. There's obviously like I'm ticking boxes as I go. No, I need to tick a championship win box now.
Yeah.
We nearly had an overall at the end of 2019 at Landrake. We were 2 laps away from it. Simpson passed. Brad Anderson with 2 laps to go. Up to that point, Harry was on the overall, so that would have ticked the box.
Yeah.
I want to find myself ticking boxes as I go along.
Because do your boys still ride?
But yeah, careful if you start one, Lee. Careful because it will run away.
I haven't got the money to do it. Yeah. I say to you, because you got to know your young boys. Did the boys still ride? Your boys?
Yeah, they've had bikes and they ride bikes all right actually. But
yeah.
It's a funny thing. I don't really want them to do it just yet. They're 12 years old and 8 years old. I don't really want them to do it yet because I still think they love football.
Okay.
And they both played for local football teams. And Archie, my 12-year-old, plays for Havant at Waterlooville. So they're good footballers actually, and I want them to pursue that. And they like mountain bike riding, so I want them to pursue that a little bit. It's. I think when they're like 14, 15. 16, and if they want to desperately do motocross, then
it's their choice at that age. Then
yeah,
that's it. You know,
they're not mentioning it. They're not really talking about it. They love watching. They love going to the British Championships and watching. Yeah, they're not really talking about racing.
You see a lot of dads nowadays though pushing the youngster kids. Like when we're at all like the schoolboys and that, it's like the parents want it more than the kid. You see the kids and you feel a little bit sorry for them because we know. Yeah. We know what they're going for, and it takes balls to get out there and ride the track, let alone their old man and dad's screaming at them. And all that. The only encouragement they give them is go faster or pull the front back. I mean, that's all they
hold in their finger.
That's it. That's a standard.
Standard dad.
Yeah. No, there's some good dads out there that are really. I see one popped up earlier actually. Dave Grimshaw, who's son Tom Grimshaw, is a quality rider, and he's kind of like the guy that the dad should be probably looking at because he's really good what I see with his boy. That he's methodical and he's getting him to where he is. I think the dads that really are too hard on their boys and are throwing their arms up and shouting, that's the ones you don't want.
Yeah,
I
they'll
suppose
give
they're
up.
living their dreams.
They'll give up when they're 14, 15 if they're like
Yeah,
that.
they will. Yeah.
So,
But there's some good kids out there that have got some really good dads behind them.
hmm.
And that's the good thing about Dan Thornhill and his dad's bike. His dad's bike's a proper character.
Yeah.
And a really nice guy. And he's hard on Dan. Even now, he's hard on Dan when he needs to be, but in the right context, he does it in the right way. And they can have a little row when they want to. And then the same with Dave and Joe. They it's all done the right way, and that's the way it should be done.
Well, me and Dale really appreciate you coming on. Obviously, you first guest, and the best way to wrap this up would be from your mum saying, "Who would have thought this 40 years ago?" Very proudly. So well done, mate, on fulfilling your dream, and really appreciate you coming on today, Lee, and taking the time out to speak to us.
That's all right. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It's been great.
Mate. And look forward to catching up with you at some races this season, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, everyone, for joining in, and we'll catch you on Monday night when we do the AMA review again. See you all soon.
Cheers.